Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 27th of November 2018. So welcome everyone and welcome to this Tuesday's morning session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few of the charts. But as always, before we start looking at that, let's quickly have a look at our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay guys, so now then let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to quickly touch on, it's the FTSE MIB. Now the Italian index here, I can see that it's rebounding nicely. So since last time I looked at it, you can see that it had this level here marked, the 19,535. This is still in place. This is still going to be our barrier that we're going to keep watching. So a nice good break above that could potentially lead towards higher levels. Certainly, of course, you can see currently the index is kind of stuck here near the 19,230 level, approximately there. But again, like I said, at the moment you can see nice momentum here to the upside. We do have a nice gap here. Of course, let's see how the index is going to open today. Maybe we could see another gap here again, and if this is what's going to happen, we could see maybe something like a breakaway gap here. So yep, for now be very careful. Keep an eye on the 19,535 level on the upside here. In a way, we could maybe lift that a little bit here higher, just to kind of mark the levels here, the high point here of the 8th of November, and that was approximately around the 19,630. So if you want to put that one on, then yep, feel free. So in a way, just to kind of be more on the safe side, let's put it that way. So yep, this is what we're going to keep an eye on for right now, the 19,630. A nice good pop above this could potentially open the path towards a next potential area of resistance. Initially, of course, the 19,930, or even actually going all the way here, maybe breaking the psychological 20,000 and moving towards the 20,250. Now this is where it could potentially meet the this downside resistance line, this kind of medium term, I would probably say medium term downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 7th of May. So yep, could initially stall the price around this area until kind of the bulls and the bears figure out who's going to take the driver's seat from here. Of course, the upside scenario is kind of currently supported by the fact that the pair made a nice reversal here from this level, from around the 18,420. It pushed higher here, so in a way, kind of confirming something like a double bottom here. But again, probably for a better confirmation of this pattern, we would need to see a nice good break here above the 19,630 level, approximately there. So yep, guys, for now it's too early to talk about this, because to talk about this as a double bottom, because it hasn't broken this level here, the 19,630 level, because in a way, if it struggles to overcome this barrier, then we could see maybe a drop down back here towards the lows, and in a way we could see something maybe of a range here. So also don't exclude this scenario, this idea. So yep, going to be like a range trader's paradise here, quite a big one to be honest, and quite a decent one. So yep, we could see maybe this one ranging a little bit, of course if it struggles to overcome the 19,630 level. So for now, keep your eyes on that one. If suddenly this reverses strongly, heavily back down and breaks the lows here, the lows near the 18,420, well, brace yourself. We could see some further declines Yep, looking at this daily chart here, so the next good potential area of support could be this little area of or I should say little, quite an important area of resistance in the past. I mean, it acted as a resistance in the past here near the 17,420, so about 1,000 points lower from the breaking point that I was just talking about. So keep your eyes on that one. For now, of course, we're more bullish than bearish, but again, probably we're going to be more cautiously bullish, because we still have to overcome this little area here at around 19,630. Jumping into silver now, so just looking at this daily chart. Okay, so with this one, let me just remove this arrow here a little bit. So it's currently testing this key area of support here near the 14,000.21 area, something like that, approximately there. In a way, if this is going to continue traveling lower today, now, eventually probably could lead towards the test of the 13.95 or even the 13.89 area. So just not far. Of course, these two levels are not far, but nevertheless quite important ones. Let me just quickly jump into a 4-hour chart on this one. You can see that it's currently kind of trading below the pivot, which is a bit of a bearish sign for today. And the next area to watch out for could be this S1 here near the 14.14, or even the S2 here around the 14.06 level, approximately there. So, but of course, for us to see that, we need to see a nice good push here below the 14.21, or in a way you could round it up towards the 14.20 if for those who are more on the maybe cautious side or something like that, but or just like round numbers. But yep, nevertheless, keep your eyes on this area, because like I said, a nice good drop here could eventually drag this one a little bit lower here towards the S1 or the S2. So the S1 is around the 14.14, or even and the S2 is the 14.06, something like that. So keep your eyes on that one. On the upside here, if this suddenly reverses sharply and moves above the pivot here around the 14.29 area, well, we could see maybe a bit of a push here higher. Now the only thing is that if you want, of course, you can draw this, but to be honest, this is a bit of a tentative one. Nevertheless, still we could refer to it. So this little downside resistance line here, so in a way this could be the area for a good test, if this, of course, if this commodity wants to continue pushing higher, if it goes above the pivot point here, guys. So yep, if it goes here above this, then yep, like I said, we could see maybe a possible test of this little short-term tentative downside resistance line. But if it breaks here nicely, still the more important level of resistance that we're going to be keeping a close eye on is going to be around here, around the 14.52, something like that, approximately there. I mean, of course, I'm using this chart here, but you probably could have some different levels, but nevertheless, approximately around here, the 14.52, just because this is where it was held around the well, actually last week, and got held here. So quite an important level becomes this one, or should I say the area becomes this one. So a nice good pop above that area could in a way initiate some more buying, and we could see this one traveling a little bit higher here, potentially towards the 14.59, or even higher here towards the 14.73, 72, approximately there. So yeah, for now, but for now, like I said, be very cautious with this one, especially with the upside, because like I said, it is currently testing this key important support area near the 14.21. Jumping into a few pairs now, so the USDJPY. Now just quickly to remind ourselves what's happening on the daily here. So you can see yesterday we had a nice push here to the upside, broke this key area of resistance near the 113.05, and yep, popped to the upside. So it kind of met its resistance around the new resistance, of course, around the 113.70. Now yesterday I was talking about this pair, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on the 113.70, and yep, we had a nice touch of that area here. So certainly since then, it fell shy of a few pips, but nevertheless about 5 pips. It lacked 5 pips to kind of touch that area, but nevertheless we're still going to keep a close eye on it. So yep, at the moment, I mean, you can see that the pair kind of retraced a little bit back down here towards the pivot here, but nevertheless it still remains above that, so we could see maybe a continuation move here higher. So if we get a nice pop above yesterday's highs, and then we're going to keep a close eye on the 113.70, a nice good break above that could potentially lead this pair towards a test of this little short-term downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 3rd of October. And yep, the levels to watch out here are, just let me adjust this quickly here. Now the levels to watch out around there could be the 114. So the 114 could be that area to watch out for if we get a nice drop, a nice pop here above the 113.70. On the downside, if this drops lower here and let's say drops below the already today's lows near the 113.40 zone, something like that, and then drops below the pivot here, then yep, keep your eyes of course on this little area here of potential support near the 113.22, something like that, approximately there, 113.23. So if this gets broken, now we could see maybe a drop further down here, a slide further down towards this little short-term upside support line here, maybe for a possible test. And if it continues to hold, then we could see maybe a rebound here and a push back up here. But nevertheless, I mean, still, if it gets broken, then be very cautious because this could potentially lead back down, the pair back down towards this longer term upside support line here that has been running since around the lows of the 29th of May. So, or should I say probably more medium term actually, then yep, this is where we could then target this upside support line again. But for now, judging by this picture, I mean, it seems to be more bullish than bearish, but nevertheless, like I said, anything can happen, and keep your eyes on the downside, keep your eyes on, of course, the 113.40, which could lead towards the 113.23, something like that, and then eventually we could see a test of this little short-term upside support line. But this is, of course, I'm talking about a scenario, a possible scenario either for today or maybe tomorrow. But on the upside, yep, keep your eyes on the 113.70 level. Quickly jumping into Aussie yen. Now this is a very interesting one. Looking at the daily chart here, you can see that it's currently sitting still below the 82.15 level, and also at the same time below the 200 EMA. So in a way, if we do get a nice pop here above the above the 82.15, this could potentially also, I mean, automatically would place the pair above the 200 EMA as well. So in a way, this could be seen as a nice bullish indication that the pair kind of is willing to travel a little bit higher here. Certainly, I do have this potential area of resistance here near the 83.05 level. But what you could look at as well here is if you draw a little tentative downside resistance line. So in a way, this could be your first target here, probably maybe somewhere around the 82.60 level, 82.60 area, something like that, of course. But again, this is what I'm talking about, a scenario which if we get a nice pop here above the 82.15 and then eventually nice break here above this 200 EMA, as you can see, kind of for the past like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, it kind of continued to act as a very nice area of resistance, this 200 EMA. So yep, this could be a key one, a key indication that the pair wants to continue traveling further here if we get a nice move above that, or eventually a nice close on the daily candle here above that 200 EMA. On the downside, as you can see now by the arrow that I've got here drawn, the 81.20 80.60 level. This is what I'm keeping a close eye on, because a nice good drop below that could potentially, of course, initially send this pair towards a test of the 81.25, from which it could maybe rebound a little bit back up. But if it struggles to overcome the 81.60 level again, then this could be a nice indication that the pair is kind of getting weaker, and we could see further declines here to the downside, where we could then aim for the 80.60 level. Of course, this is just an idea for now, but at the moment, keep a close eye on the 82.15. And the last pair I want to quickly touch on, GBPUSD. I'm looking at this daily chart, so we can remove this little arrow here. Now, this is what's happening right now. We're getting a break below the 127.75 area, and of course, if this continues in the same direction, then yep, we could see further declines, maybe even towards the 127.20 or even the 126.95 area. So the last one here was marked by the low of the 31st of October, so basically the lowest point of October. So keep your eyes on that one. Certainly at the moment, like I said, you can see that it's declining, and let's see where it finds its support. Of course, currently sitting just near the 127.65 area, which was marked here by the lows of the 21st of November. But if even that doesn't hold, then yep, we could see further declines here, as I said, potentially towards the 127.20 area, which was near the lows of the 15th of November. So be very cautious on this one. Still, the overall the whole picture here looks bearish. And like I said, let's see how this plays out. The 127.65. Let's see how that plays out. If you get a nice drop here below, then yep, keep your eyes on the 127.20 level. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you found it useful. And if you want to join me later on my traders tea time, and that's 14:15 GMT time. So yep. But for now, I hope you have a fantastic trading day. Bye for now.